Here's another couple from my book, Betrayal and Forgiveness. Meet Sally and Ed. Sally, age 40, came to see me with her brother, Ed, 42. What brought them to therapy was a mutual desire to end estrangements that had started many years earlier. As Sally described it, she and Ed had been each other's closest friends as children and young adults, a bond forged in the fires of abuse and neglect from their parents. Their mother was a drug addict who abandoned them when Sally was a young child. Their father kept a roof over their heads but was also involved in the drug scene, both using and dealing. Sally was sexually abused by several of her father's customers. She cut off contact with her father as soon as she was able to get out of the house at 16, first couch surfing at friends' houses and eventually finding a job and living on her own. As the older brother, Ed was both supportive and protective of Sally. When he sensed that she was going down a bad path, he would take her aside and call her on it, which she came to appreciate. She was particularly grateful that Ed would never speak ill of her to anyone. She felt he was the one person in her life she could trust. When Sally was 22, she was dating a man, we'll call him Josh, whom she didn't want to be with anymore but didn't have the heart to break up with definitively. After months of trying to tell him it's over, she just started seeing other guys without telling him. At the time, Ed was living in Sally's apartment. Ed decided to tell Josh what was going on. Josh called Sally in a panic and told her what Ed had told him. When Sally confronted Ed, he said he had told Josh what she was doing because it was the right thing to do. Sally felt betrayed. How could the one person she trusted stab her in the back like that? She had Ed evicted and refused his repeated attempts to contact her for years. Over the years, Sally had heard that their father had managed to turn his life around, getting clean and forming a stable relationship with a woman. She had thought about contacting him but hadn't felt ready. Ed had maintained contact with their father. Now, 18 years after Sally had cut him off, Ed messaged Sally to tell her that their father was terminally ill. Ed was participating in his care. He hoped that Sally would want to participate too. Sally realized she wanted to get past her sense of betrayal, but needed Ed to understand how he had hurt her. Ed wanted Sally to understand how her evicting him also felt like a betrayal. They agreed to work with a therapist in hopes of being able to work together to care for their father. Want to find out what happened to Sally and Ed? Read the book and stay tuned for more about betrayal and forgiveness.